Jets taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. There's Wilson to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Touchdown, Vikings! Cam Akers, 34 yards. And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon. So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make, and it backfired on him in a big way.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Xavier Gibson now from his end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Still going past the 30. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Jets. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams, and that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Cousins to throw it. That's out to the flat for Akers. Breaks the tackle, now allowing. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
On play action, Cousins. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge and we didn't permit a score. That's how we win.
I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that fourth down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
That penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. A wild throw there, and it is intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. Inside the 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving into more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Rocky start throwing the football. He's missed now on his first 4 attempts.
I'm eager to see what his demeanor is going to be from this point forward, because the best ones, they missed the first 15 attempts, and they think they're going to hit the next.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter now 2. Sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now they go for it on 4th down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Akers diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. So he had a nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown, so now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it, sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they have really gotten after him in this first half. He's been on the run throughout. And you can imagine he just might have some words for his linemen come halftime.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. On first and 10, it's Hall. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd and 5. To throw, it's Rodgers. Forced out to his left. Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 28. Here's Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now a first and 10 at the 11. Back to the ground with Hall. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Rodgers now to throw. Being chased out left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's 3rd and 9. Now Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that Puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance if they want to be aggressive.
Oh, a dangerous pass there, and it's intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out.
And Madison hit, and the ball pops free. And it's scooped up by the Jets. Through the middle of the field. And he takes it to the house.
Shit.
Recovery for a Jet touchdown. Now Zerline on and the extra point. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but and this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 72 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
And you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football, and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, right back to Hall. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. From the 41, here's 2nd and 4. Here's Rodgers to throw. He dumps this one off here to Hall. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll give to Hall. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. This 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall from 17 yards out. And the Jets have cut it back within a score. They're going to try and run.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us? Because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Rodgers and the Jet offense staying out there. They'll go for 2. Rodgers will throw for it. And he's got it. The try for 2 is successful, and it pushes the lead up to a field goal. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized a little bit on top.
Nwangu now from his end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Now Cousins. He lets one go deep for Addison. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I think it's safe to say he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one, not to have another turnover on his ledger.
That is caught, And he is going to have a Jets first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. On play action, Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Dance. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A first down throw for Cousins. Throw left side, and Osborne has it. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
And now they're in the hurry up. To throw, Cousins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. That's to his running back, complete. Into space at the 45. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. Cousins now from the 50. That's caught downfield by Addison. Touchdown, Vikings! Jordan Addison, 50 yards. And the Vikings have retaken a third-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Cobb goes in motion left. Hall on a give up the middle. And he'll have a Jets first down as good running gets him to about the 44. And they're going to speed things up here. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And this will be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps out the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Eluding the... Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They'll run with Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Throwing is Rodgers. Steps away. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And that's a tough throw for a right-handed quarterback, rolling out to his left and trying to get the ball to a receiver. We've seen all those drills where they try to get the shoulders square and point it towards the target downfield.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll wind up being a huge loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that'll bring him back within a point. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Oh, good return up past the 30. Kene Nwangu. And he will score. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Now, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Now Cousins going to bring his guys up for the 2-point try. It's complete, and he is going to come up short of the goal line, and this will remain a one-score game as the lead holds at 7. And this belongs to the Vikings. Well, they just scored, they got the lead, and they decide to keep their foot on the accelerator, so to speak.
Scouting, scouting, scouting. They had to have seen something in their preparation for this game that told them in this situation, if they get the look they like, let's go ahead and go for it.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. He'll give it to Hall to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Rodgers going to throw. His throw incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. No matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And he completes it to Wilson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They have certainly looked his way in this 3rd quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a 1st down. On play action. Now Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Rodgers now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what?
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to have it here just past the 25.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not. But I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. The fumble on 1st down now. Here's 2nd down. Pass complete to Addison. His 2nd catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his 1st. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. Now Cousins sees something. He's going to change this around. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He lets one go deep for Addison. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown! Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, You're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it. And
got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. On play action, it's Rodgers. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to get the football back. It's time to run out in this third quarter of play. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this will be a Vikings first down as they get this up to about the 42. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Back to the ground on first down. Here's Madison. Now inside the 25. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison, 58 yards. And the Vikings have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And his throw is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Rodgers again now. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And he is going to have a Jets first down on a well-designed play there. That gets him 16 to move the chains. Here's Rodgers. Flushed out right. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Aaron Rodgers hitting Allen Lazard. And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks.
As most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there. That's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Fighting him off and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. That will be their third and final stoppage, as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Alexander Madison with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Vikings have opened up a 3-score lead as they pull away here in the fourth.
We see this a lot on third and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss. Because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Pass to Lazard, bringing it in on the crossing route. Touchdown, Jets. Allen Lazard with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Jets are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And this is going to be intercepted.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a big mistake on the return. He's out of bounds at his own 1-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Here's Madison running on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Here's Madison getting it again on second. There he goes, right side. Now he's into the clear again. Now look out. To the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison finishing strong with 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Vikings tack on another score as they have dominated this fourth quarter. Joseph on for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. And the touchdown apparently wasn't enough. They're going to go for the onside kick here. And the Jets have got it. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Vikings are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jermaine Johnson in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Well, this is a new concept. It's 3rd down, but they've got the punt unit on. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Now it's Rodgers. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. On play action, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is...
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Joseph's got it, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Rodgers now on 1st down. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And quickly, they get to the line. Now a play fake. Rodgers to the end zone, but it's incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. And that is going to officially drop. Oh, they try a lateral on the return, and now the ball's loose. And it's a touchdown for the Jets.
Well, that last touchdown did nothing to affect the score here and who was going to win the game. But I know all of our fantasy friends were eagerly watching, and some people are dancing around happy right now.
One final try now for Rodgers. That's caught, and he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further.